My name is Little Scream, and right now I'm in Brooklyn doing an interview with Elle magazine. Elle as in the letter L, not E-L-L-E. I learned how to play guitar when I was about 11 or 12 years old. My mom's pickup truck got hit, and instead of fixing the car, she just used the insurance money to get a banjo and a guitar. We had like a tiny little place. It was like trailer size, and I would just go in the back of it, and I got a book of Aerosmith guitar tablature and learned how to play guitar that way.
Pedaling through the sun, my legs stream through your body like a glass.
Music seemed like it saved my life at some points. Like, I think of different hard times. I think a lot of people can relate to that, but like Paul Simon's album Graceland saved my life at a certain point in my life, and then, you know, Ricky Lee Jones saved it at another time, and Tom Waits saved it at another time, and it makes you feel like you're not alone. I just felt really grateful for that and kind of wanted to give back to that, and kind of like also reach out to my younger self sort of and be like, hey, it's okay, it's gonna be cool, you know? Wherever that goes, or wherever that ends up with, I don't know, but that's definitely how I felt about it. I named my record The Golden Record. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I think I knew that referenced the Voyager Space Shuttle recording, because I've always been kind of a space nerd. The Golden Record is the thing that they sent out into space. Carl Sagan and Annie Druin are kind of two of the main people who put that together, but there are a lot of other people who are involved in it. And I just found that gesture really echoed what I was feeling in putting this record together. Trying to pull together all these disparate kind of parts of my life and communicate it in some sort of way to who, I don't know, like, would anybody ever receive it or understand it? It's so romantic and tragic and all those things, you know, but also I just love that idea that, I mean, in some ways, I think whenever you try to communicate something through music or art or any way, really, you're communicating at so many different levels. Wow, it's a little bit harder to put into words sometimes than I think, but I just love the idea of this like thing floating around in space that's got all this great intention in it and all this love in it and all these like different ideas, and like who knows if anybody will ever find it, who knows if, like, I doubt it. It'd be miraculous, but just the idea that there's that intention there, like it almost doesn't matter if nobody ever finds it. A lot of my songs that are on the Golden Record are older, and I'd say they span a period of probably about 10 years, because I've always written songs and played music, but I was way too shy in the beginning to do much with them at all. A lot of people ask why I even started performing, because I was so shy and it was really hard for me, and that's exactly why I did. It was a real existential challenge for me, and I felt like there had been so many things in my life that I hadn't done out of fear. I just didn't want my life to be like that, and so it was kind of a turning point for me when I decided to start doing stuff in public. And I loved the fact that it was really hard, actually, because at the end of every show, even if it was a really small, weird show, I felt this great sense of accomplishment that, you know, didn't really have anything to do necessarily with how many people showed up or what kind of thing it was. It just felt it was like a real personal accomplishment every time, and I still feel like that, weirdly enough. I'm less shy for sure, but that's still what it feels like, and I kind of hope it will always feel like that, because it means more to me to be able to do it.
Back in your love.
There are definite religious references in my album, and something that I haven't really talked about publicly, I guess, until just recently, because I did a show a couple nights ago with some other people who had the same experience as I did. We were all excommunicated from the same religious faith, which means that you lose your community. In most cases, you lose family and a lot of different things. Like, people just literally won't talk to you anymore, and that's it really like marks you in a certain way. And so, like I said, I've never really talked about that, but I feel like maybe I'm gonna start, like right now I'm talking about it, for example, because I feel like it might be helpful to some people, you know, that whole out of solidarity kind of. It's kind of like you kind of have to start all over again in some respects, like figure out how to make friends, like actually in the normal world, and how to deal with like losing the people that are really close to you and that you love, and that's really, you know, it's not easy. And I think there are a lot more people who have had that experience, you know, around you than you might know. It's interesting because I paint too, and there's this, you know, woman that I've met just through my painting, and I never thought I overtly talked about that in any of my work, or even in my songs, really. I don't ever feel like I overtly reference that, but I know that, like, this person, like, she just loved my paintings. She totally got them, and then she came to my studio and we were talking about them. We found that we had this very similar experience from different contexts, and it's like somehow, even I've never been really overt in my mind about discussing that, but I think it comes through, and you know, other people certainly pick up on it. So it must be much more in there than I am aware of. All those things that you think are cliches, like God is love and music is love, and all these things, you know, actually, like, when you feel them, they're quite profound. When you say them, they're not. But, you know, you have those, like, moments and epiphanies sometimes, and that really comes through, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I love being able to connect with that in music. And I mean, I feel like I love the people I'm playing with, too. Like, so, like, I'm just really feeling this now. This is, like, our last show tonight in Brooklyn of, like, a long year of playing a lot of shows. And we're just really feeling the love. And we're like, wow, we're not, you know, who knows when we're going to do this next. It's only going to be a couple months, but it's kind of like a, you know, just even at that sense, you know, when you get to share something with people, that's really great, and hopefully that, like, comes through in the audience too. Like, I've had some, like, really great reviews and a lot of good support, but we're, like, not, like, crazy buzz band right now or anything. Like, a lot of people have been, like, people who have gotten into it have really picked it up, but it's not like we're all over the place. And if that really makes you, like, you know, it means sometimes you're playing really small shows, and that really makes you, like, draw in and, like, know why you're doing it. Like, you have to be doing it because you love it and because you love the people you're playing with, and because it's, like, about something more than just, like, you know, getting attention or doing whatever, you know. It's like I'm kind of almost grateful for that in some ways, like, just because again and again, I'm just reminded of just always connecting with that, and I really feel that spirit with that. I think that's how I've kind of chosen the people I play with too, is like, it's almost more the spirit first and then the music, and then the music comes along and it's great. So I don't know, that's how I want to do it.